Spooky season is here, right? So I want to go ahead and give you 5 films that I would recommend, horror films that is, to watch before Halloween starts. So some of these films are movies that you've seen already. One movie is a movie that has not come out yet. So let's get started. The 1976 Brian De Palma film Carrie is a classic. I absolutely loved this film growing up. I related to Carrie because I know what it's like to be bullied in school. I know what it's like to be the outlier. I don't know what it's like to have telekinesis, but I really thought it was kind of cool that this girl who was taken advantage of by her fellow students was able to kind of exact some revenge, if you will, in a very intriguing way in the film Carrie. If you haven't seen this film, then I'm not going to go into any plot details for you, but it's an incredible performance by Sissy Spacek, who plays Carrie White, Piper Laurie, who gives a haunting performance as her very conservative religious mother. Her very strict parenting plays a huge role in Carrie's narrative and journey throughout this film. I personally read the book, Carrie. I read the book actually after seeing the film, but I would encourage you, if you're someone that likes to read books, or if you're just a fan of Stephen King, definitely check out Carrie because the book is actually a lot more terrifying than the film itself. This is the culmination of all things that happens when Carrie is provoked to the 100th degree. And yeah, it gets really bad for the people that have done Carrie wrong in this movie. Next up is The Witches. I love this film. I think this is a great film for the kids, right? So they're done trick-or-treating, they're ready to eat their candy, and they want to sit back and watch a fun movie, but also stay in the horror movie vibe. So this is a good recommendation. Whenever I think of like some of the best witches of all time, I think of Angelica Houston as the Grand High Witch in this film. Basically, it's about these witches that kidnap children and do what they will with them. They develop this potion that turn kids into mice. And I really love the prosthetics in this because this is Angelica Houston's character, the Grand High Witch, in her true form, which is pretty terrifying to see. May Zetterling, Jason Fisher, they play the son and grandmother that are trying to find a way to stop these witches from capturing children. So definitely check out The Witches. Next up is Killer Clowns from Outer Space. This is the definitive B-movie kind of film. If you love campy, cheesy horror, then definitely check this one out. If you're afraid of clowns, probably not the movie for you. It's either two people that like this movie, people that are into B-movies, or people that aren't afraid of clowns. I'm sure there are people that probably watched this movie and got scared of clowns right afterward. Just this image alone, that right there, that would probably be enough to frighten a lot of folks. And if this is triggering for you, I am sorry, but I'm not afraid of clowns, so I was able to watch this movie with no problem. But Killer Clowns from Outer Space is actually a really fun movie to watch. It is kind of scary in some moments, but it's cheesy scary. The acting performances are absolutely terrible. The special effects is low tier, but it's on my list of horror movies to watch that you should definitely check out this season. Of course, that's if you're not afraid of clowns. So it has fun stuff as well, such as like popcorn guns and like cotton candy body bags. So that's what I'm talking about when you see Killer Clowns from Outer Space. That's the type of horror that you're going to expect in this film. Can't be cheesy horror, not really anything too grotesque. Mr. Crockett. This comes out October the 11th on Hulu. This is not out yet, but I want you to put this one on your radar. If you're into like analog horror, if you're into films that deal with sort of this nostalgic kind of vibe to it, this is something worth checking out. And I love movies that are original, fresh, different. Elvis Nolasco plays Mr. Crockett. He's a children's game show host, and he has this demonic spirit that's
kind of sort of trapped inside of a TV set. Where have we heard that one before, right? But this is very different because the demonic spirit that's trapped inside of the TV is reaching kids. It's watching this game show that's targeted to them. And then what happens is once the kids are enraptured with watching this show, it allows the spirit to come out and attack and pretty much kill the parents of the kids. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to give too many plot details on this one, but definitely check out Mr. Crockett. Elvis Nolasco's maniacal laughter alone is enough to frighten the crap out of you. And there's also this really creepy theme song that's attached to the children's game show, which, usually you think of children's game shows, it's happy and joyous and fun. This is scary. This is frightening. So check out Mr. Crockett. Comes out October 11th on Hulu. And finally, the franchise that launched the biggest horror franchise of them all is Scream, the 1996 film. I think it's the best out of all of them. They can make 50 million sequels. They can do 30 million reboots. It does not matter. 1996 film Scream will always be number one. It will always be top tier in comparison to the others. And the reason why that is because in the very first scene of the film, it did the 1960 film Psycho formula, where it completely subverted our expectations. I'm not going to go over plot details because I'm going to assume that people that are watching this haven't even seen Scream. But when we saw Drew Barrymore and we saw that first scene, a lot of us, for the first time back in 1996, when it first came out, we were just like, whoa, we were not expecting that. There's an all-star cast in this, by the way. And at the time, they weren't really big stars, but many of them have gone on to do really big projects afterwards. So definitely check out Scream. It's one of my favorite horror films of all time. I love it. And look, it's gone on to become a very successful franchise. So that's it. Those are my top 5 picks for movies of the Halloween spooky season. Hope you like them. Definitely check out Mr. Crockett on October the 11th. There's Carrie, there's The Witches, there's Scream, there's Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And that's all I have for now. See you next time and happy Halloween. Bye.